Hey everyone, welcome back to the house. I'm Danyelle. Thanks for watching my video. For those of you who are new, please hit that subscribe button to get posts whenever I update my channel, post videos like this one right here. For those of you guys who are returning viewers, thanks for sticking with your girl. I appreciate you. So today is just going to be a little chit chat video, update you on some things, get to know me a little bit more. So let's get into it. So today is Friday the 25th of August, and I have just completed my first week of classes here at Southern. So I am a fourth year student at Southern Adventist University, and I say fourth year because even though technically this would be my senior year, I'm not exactly graduating. Long story short, so I came here freshman year, 2014, all the way from Harlem, New York, to this random place in Collegeville, Tennessee. And I decided I was gonna study graphic design because they have an amazing art program here, so let me come here. So freshman year, entered here, loved it. I loved it in moderation, for sure, this is not New York. This is the South, and it's pretty isolated here. It's pretty country here. So for me, it was a super crazy culture shock. I remember I drove down with my parents and my sister, and they helped me move and unpack and all that. And then after they left, that first night I slept, I was just like, are these crickets? Are those birds I hear? It was so wild to me to be in this super quiet environment. I'm very much used to sirens, people talking all the time, loud music blasting from across the street, announcers from the park. I'm just used to that constant noise 24/7 back at home in New York. And so to come here, it was just crickets, ugh, how y'all sleep? It was just so weird for me. And also, the grass is so green, crazy green and clean, and the air is so clean, and I feel I'm much healthier since I've come here. All these things are just so new to me, which is so crazy. But Harlem or just New York be dirty sometimes. So I'm very happy that I'm here and I get to experience this on campus living life thing here. So I adjusted, especially with it being my fourth year. It's still weird for me. It's weird transitioning back home to New York, and it's also weird transitioning back coming down. Every single year I go through that weird phase of oh yeah, I guess I'm back here. Okay. But back to the story. So this is my fourth year, but I'm not graduating. So I entered here freshman year as a graphic design major. I wanted to work in the music business. I am definitely in love with hip hop, black culture, that kind of field. So I wanted to work in the music industry as a graphic designer, doing album covers, promotional posters, all that jazz. And it definitely affected my projects because I had three criteria for everything I did in my design courses. For one, I asked myself, hey, how does this relate to Tupac Shakur? Because we all know that's my man. 2, how does this relate to Harlem? 3, how does this relate to Black people in general? I based all my projects around that. So all the work I was producing kind of linked back to that. So clearly that was my focal point. That was where my interests lie. So I was thinking, hey, I can work in the music industry as a designer. And then also I had this ultimate dream of having a record label for artists. Not necessarily visual artists, but maybe a creative agency per se, of people who can do commissions for other work, but you loan them out through my company. And that's also where I'm setting the base of with Haus of Elleezus. Link in the description box below. Also talking about Haus of Elleezus, this shirt, I don't know if you can see it. This shirt is a new design that we have coming to the house very soon, so look out for that. So I came freshman year studying graphic design, and then in the summer of my junior year, that would be like the summer before this one that just passed, I worked with a camp at 92nd Y back in New York at this camp called Baritov. Now Baritov is a camp for special needs kids, so it was me working one-on-one with a camper. So my camper's name was Alejandro. He had autism, and it was definitely a life-changing experience. Like, I learned so much that summer about like just working with kids who may have certain challenges. I learned a lot about patience, because when I tell you you're one-on-one in the sense that like, if he goes to the bathroom, I'm going to the bathroom with him. Like, if he's going over there, I'm over there too. Like, I don't have a chance to be like, hey, you over there, and I'm gonna just watch you. Like, no, we're like this all summer long. So I had that experience that was great. And from there, I kind of always dabbled with like working with kids in the back of my mind, because here at school, I usually work with the elementary school kids as like a teacher's assistant. So I had that like experience with working with kids, you know, helping them out and all that. So summer camp, you know, it was like a nice transition into that. So I ended the summer definitely full of emotion, because like I just felt like this great summer with this kid, and he was amazing, and I feel like so fulfilled, and I feel like I'm gonna change the world by like helping kids out there. So let me forget the 3 years I spent, well, you know, the would-be 3 years I spent studying graphic design, and let me be a education major. So I got back to school that fall and decided, hey, let me pursue my associates in graphic design, and let me decide to pursue a degree in education, because I just spent this great summer working with kids. So last year, my junior year, I switched to education. So I was taking predominantly education classes. I had an interview to get accepted into the education program. Like, I did, well, not clinicals, but can't remember what it's called right now, but it's where we go into the schools and like observe, help the teachers out a little bit. Did all of that, got a little name tag that said teacher candidate. Like, I was legit and serious about this. Meanwhile, when I went to my design advisor to like make the switch over, he definitely like gave me like, yo, are you sure? Like, are you sure? Like, always with like changing your major, like at least for me, even though this was like the only time I changed, I feel like it's like a betrayal. Like, how dare you go into the dark side and leave us behind? How dare you, you traitor? Like, and I felt so bad, especially like my first week coming back junior year. I saw my favorite design professor, and he saw me. He was like, hey Danielle, like how was your summer? I was like, great. And he was like, oh, like what class are you taking? And I was like, oh yeah, so about that, I actually switched over to education. And he gave me like this heartbroken look, and it was just like, but why? And why? You were such a good designer. Like, why would you switch over to education? And I was like, cause I wanted to. I don't know. Like, I felt that pressure. Was like, oh my gosh, am I making the right decision? Like, did I make a big mistake? Like, what am I doing? And I'm always that type of person where it's like, I don't like change. Like, I don't like big changes. So it's like, for me to switch over to education, like, that was a lot for me. So my mindset at that point was like, yo, like, I already switched. I am not switching back, alright? Like, this is it. This is final. So throughout the course of my year, through like my education classes, I realized, everyone else is super excited about this stuff. Like, they're super happy about like touching little fuzzy covers on children's books and talking about how much this kid sneezing made them remember about another kid they worked with at summer camp, and that was great. And I was just there in class like, I don't care about none of this stuff, to be honest. And my teachers kind of noticed, you know, some of them didn't really say a lot, and I was definitely very vocal about the fact that I didn't like these things. So it kind of created this weird tension where it was like, So you're in this education class, but you clearly don't want to be here. Like, I still pass my classes because I do pride myself on being like a good student, but for all my projects and everything, I didn't relate it as much to education as I did relate everything back to art. So like, for instance, for a tech and ed class I took, we had a assignment to make a PowerPoint or a slideshow, because I don't believe in PowerPoints, a slideshow on a topic of our choice, like instructing people on giving instructions on something. So my topic was how to make art your career while convincing your parents it's not a bad decision and that you're not going to live under a bridge with a homeless person making 89 cents a day. So clearly, I love art. You would say I was very passionate about art. And that's one thing I learned last year. Like, direct my energy and all my focus into something that I'm super passionate about. Like, don't try to fit myself into like this box, because I feel like that's where people think I should be. Like, that's another thing I got a lot of and I thought about while I was in education, because people always say like, yeah, you work really well with kids, you're nurturing, like you relate very well to them. And it's not just because I'm short. My mom's a teacher, a really good teacher, so I've grown up with a teacher in my household. So it was a little bit of like, yo, are you trying to be like your mom? Even though her and I are two very different people. Like, the way I talk about art and I'm super hype and animated about it and obsessive about it, that's exactly how she is about teaching. Like, the way I'll talk to my friends about like, yo, I have this really dope design for a shirt, like, yo, we can get together and do this like massive painting, blah blah blah. That's the same way my mom will talk about like the name tag she's gonna have for kids this year. Like, the theme for her classroom this year is like an airline. And over the summer, like, I was so sick and tired about hearing about the little passports she gonna make for her kids, the little planners, the little flight attendant uniform she's gonna wear on the first day. Like, my mom loves teaching. So watching her, it was like, and the other students in my classes, it was just like, you guys love this and you guys are passionate about this. I'm not. So why am I here? So it took me until the end of the year in May, where I had my interview to get into the School of Education. Great interview, by the way. I got accepted into the program, but when I opened that email, it was just like, damn, like, I'm stuck here now. Like, I'm stuck. So after realizing, like, yo, I'm not happy about this decision. Like, I don't feel like this is something that's to be celebrated. Like, instead, it just made me really sad. Like, now I'm stuck in this career where I'm not gonna get to do what I want to do. And that's when I realized, yo, like, are we sure this is what I want to do? And that was something that I really didn't want to have that revelation in my third year of college. Well, now fourth year of college. Like, I'm trying to graduate. I'm trying to get out of here. Like, why am I having these doubts about what I'm doing with my life? So over the summer, founding, like, you know, Haus of Elleezus, like, working more on my art. At the internship I had with the Flag Art Foundation this summer, like, doing design work for them, it was like, yo, this is something I love to do. And even if I didn't get paid to do it, I would do it all day, every day. So this is what my future should look like, right? And that's when I made the decision to switch back to graphic design. So now here I am, a fourth year student here, but not graduating. So ultimately, I added a whole nother year to my life sentence here. So instead of graduating this year, May 2018, I will be graduating next year. Well, next school year, May of 2019. And while I was a little bit depressed about it, like, dang, I'll be a super senior, technically not so much, because I did start school earlier and I am so young. Like, I'm only 20, so I'm gonna graduate when I'm like, what, 22? that's still fairly good compared to other people out there. And I'm still gonna be young. And honestly, college is about like finding out like where your passions lie, figuring out who you are yourself, like what do you want to do with your life. And however long that takes, honestly, take your time. Like, don't stress too much about like how long you spend here, because you want to make sure that you're getting the right education, the knowledge that pertains to what you want to do with your life. So don't feel like you have to graduate in this a lot of time in 4 years because that's the norm. Like, if you feel like you're not doing something that you're passionate about, yo, it's okay to take time to explore those other majors out there. Like, find what you love to do, because it will suck for like 20 years from now you to be like some dead-end job, to be like, well, this is not fulfilling at all and I'm getting nowhere. Like, make sure, especially while you're young, make sure you find out what you love to do and like you're in college studying what you want. Like, it's not about what your mom thinks, about like what your brother thinks, what your aunt thinks. Like, yo, it's about what you want to do, because at the end of the day, it's your life, so it's gonna be your future, your career. So make that choice for you. So, being an introvert does not mean you're antisocial. Like, in social settings, I can be social. Like, I can talk to people. I often talk too much. Like, if you ask anyone who knows me, who I'm friends with, like, they will tell you, like, yo, Danyelle does not know when to shut up. And a lot of the time, I'm talking about foolishness. Like, I can hold a conversation.